I mean, ethics is a big thing with me. I have to trust you with my tools, my equipment, because there's going to be times when you're out all by yourself. So I can't, you have to be a person that has a little bit of integrity, actually a lot of integrity. If I say I don't want somebody else in my truck, you can't be going and picking somebody up and taking them somewhere in the middle of their workday in my vehicle. Have some integrity. You can't be stealing items off my customer's property. I've had customers that left their tools out, left them near where I'm working. There have been times when I've had worked at other companies when I've worked with guys that would just scoop all that up and take it. It's not only that, but just saying that I made a mistake and I need to own up to it and fix it. So I'm talking about myself as much as I would be talking about an employee. I expect from them what I expect from myself. No more, no less. If you fail, and we've talked about this before, if they fail, then is it my failure or is it your failure? And we have to determine that. But that all boils down to your ethics and your morals. Again, I could just fire a guy, but is that ethically the right thing to do? So all of those things are determined. But I want an employee that at least starts out that way, because then it could be developed on a grander scale, that everybody would have their own definition of work ethic. Mine comes from my dad. So there was no sitting around. There was no watching TV. I didn't start really getting into TV till I was in my late teens, because I was never in the house. Either I was out working in the garage doing whatever my projects were, or I was out working with my dad, whatever projects he had going on. So work ethic to me is just for this, show up on time, be presentable, have a good attitude, and be willing to and flexible enough to learn the skill set I need you to learn. That's it. Simple. But that's where, I don't know if that translates into personal ethics, but those are the main key things. And of course, that follows in line with being flexible and a sponge, so to speak, is being willing to learn it. And that's part of your work ethic. Don't speed. No speeding. Obey every traffic law. You get a ticket because you went through a stop sign, you might not have a job here. It's stupid. So don't be stupid. Don't be yelling at my customer. Don't be flipping people off. Don't be road raging. Don't be spinning in and out of lanes. If I have to say this to you, that's fine, but I only should have to do it one time. Because I don't need to get a phone call, because I have my phone number plastered on my trucks. I don't need to get a phone call from somebody on the side of the road yelling at me about how you're driving. They can yell at me about how I'm driving, that's fine. But I don't want to hear about any of my other employees. And there's certain things, like if you could call it a break point, but there's certain things that will not tolerate, period. Lying is one of them. Theft is another one. Whether it's theft of a customer's personal property or my tools, or theft out of doesn't matter what it is. There are just certain things that ethically I'm not going to allow into my company. Don't be dishonest. You don't need to be. There's nothing about this isn't rocket science. There's nothing about this job that is so important that you have to lie about it. Nothing. And don't be immoral either. So don't be taking a leak on a customer's property somewhere. I'll fall back. Heard stories, video cameras everywhere. Guys taking a piss and dumping product or dumping scrap in a customer's garbage can. Now, while I agree that it belongs to the customer, my notes on my invoices say we haul away debris. On my estimates and my invoices at the bottom, before I even get to the warranty, includes hauling away, includes tax and labor, includes all mounting hardware, includes hauling away debris, and then the warranty. So don't be throwing it in their can unless you ask permission. Definitely don't steal and don't lie. The two biggest, no chance. If you do it one time, you're gone. I think an employee needs to know what it would take to get fired. As much as you've allowed me to tell me what it's going to take for you to get hired, this is what it's going to be in order to get fired. These will be the quick things, and then there's some things that might take a little longer if you don't perform. I need you to come with a professional, ethical, and moral attitude, and ingrained in each human being, they know what that is. Whether you choose to rely upon it or not, is another story, but this is what I expect. You can expect this from me, the same thing I'm expecting from you. So I'm not going to lie to you. I am not going to micromanage you. I am going to have expectations that I expect you to achieve, and I'm going to be here if you can't achieve them. So my job as the owner of the company is to develop you as my employee, and if in turn that helps you develop yourself better as just a person in general, great. But my goal is to have the best team members as I can have, and I have to be able to be willing to develop that in you. So don't be afraid to come and ask me and talk to me. Tell me what's going on, what you need in the field, what you need personally. There are going to be those meetings where we have personal, professional, and financial goals. And so we can discuss all that. I don't see any reason why, if I have an employee that's helping me achieve the goals for the company, then the company should be able to help the employee achieve their goals. I think that's where a lot of businesses fail and where they lose really good employees, is because the employee doesn't feel like they're valued. So a lot of I mean, if any of you ever left a job that you left because of money, just money, not any other reason. Okay, there's a reason why within the company that isn't money that sparks the thing that I probably should go look for another job. Because chances are you have reached a certain level of success within whatever job you have, so you're at a higher pay level. So if you go to another job, you're going to take a pay cut, but that doesn't matter. You can't deal with whatever's happening in the company. So the company needs to take a harder look at itself to see, why does my employee not feel valued? I take all this stuff very seriously.